Yes, to rise as our guest of honor makes his way to the stage. Please.
Of various crowning acts is about keeping your team focused on a goal.
Moses Matarui, the Provisional Administrator, Mr. Jonasa Mandarikal, Divisional Education Officer West, Mr. Pravin Nath, Senior Education Officer, Mr. Sanayla Naunga, other members of the staff of Ministry of Education, teachers, parents, well-wishers, our dear children. Good evening and good morning to you. My apologies for the delay. Normally don't do this. I had 2 engagements last night, coupled with fever and diarrhea. So if you see me going in and out, I just can't avoid it. I think there's a virus going around, so it's beyond our control. Ladies and gentlemen, some months back I was here, immediately after the devastation by Cyclone Winston, and the whole place was upside down. We were here to see how we could ensure the children's education are disrupted. This school is not an exception. There are many schools, close to 400 schools affected by Cyclone Winston throughout PG. Cyclone Winston did not dampen our spirit. In fact, it assisted us in building our resilience. It gave an opportunity to this young and new generation to see how natural disasters could happen, how we should respond to it. It made us stronger. It tested us, our resolve, our unity. It allowed people throughout the country to mobilize to assist those households and children affected by Cyclone Winston without looking at variables of ethnicity, religion, location, etc. It was a true testimony of the ideology proposed by our Honorable Prime Minister as stipulated in the 2018 Constitution, that we are all one nation, one people, one nation, have a common destiny. And the Cyclone Winston was the first major disaster that tested everyone in PG. I recall a week after Cyclone Winston, there was a queue in Kings Road, right from Missouri town, right up to Regreki. You could overtake, bumper to bumper, everyone from the Southern Division. And similarly this side as well, but I didn't see the queue. But I know them carrying materials to these people, households affected in this district. Immediately after a natural disaster, we need to provide relief materials, clothing, shelter, and food, and basic sanitation supplies. Then rehabilitation and major construction work. We're into second and third phase. In the new budget, the government has allocated close to $200 million for construction of schools devastated by Cyclone Winston. Now, some people have been questioning about the delay in construction of schools, reconstruction of schools. Cyclones and natural disasters are not new to Fiji. In the past, we had moved fast and started the construction work without adhering to standards, without looking at the long-term consequences. Natural disasters, the Fiji and the Pacific Island countries are prone to natural disasters. Therefore, we need to ensure that whatever we construct is at least could withhold the maximum strength that we have been facing of a cyclone. In this case, category 5. And really picking up hammer, nails, etc., and starting reconstruction will make us vulnerable again should there be a cyclone. So it is for this reason that the government has decided to involve engineers to undertake scoping work. And this work took months, because it's not only schools in the level that are affected, but in maritime zone as well. And to deploy a limited number of qualified engineers throughout Fiji, it takes a lot of time. In addition to that, we wanted to ensure that we get qualified people to undertake the construction, hence a major application for tenders. As a process which government is to follow in order to utilize taxpayers' money with absolute transparency and accountability at the end of the project. The first batch of schools to be constructed will begin this month, and it will be in batches. We do hope that by January, February, March, all schools in Fiji will be done and in a shape much better than what it was before, prior to cyclone Winston. Ladies and gentlemen, in addition to that, we also have numerous people in the private sector, NGOs, individuals who come forward to assist in the construction of our schools in particular, which is in our domain of education. For example, recently in Nabe South, Catholic school was constructed by a contractor in Fiji, Kartika Construction Limited. The entire school was reconstructed by Kartika Construction. The construction cost was to the tune of around $300,000. Similarly, there are other schools where people, individuals or NGOs assisted in constructing, and quite a number of them are up and running, while the others, some school students are still in getting it, teaching and learning through temporary learning spaces provided by UNICEF. Today we are here to witness the opening of Bailey Memorial School. As the manager alluded to earlier on, J.P. Bailey is a known person, a known name in Fiji. It has assisted a lot of people, particularly people originating from poor households. Its medical scheme is known throughout Fiji. The Bailey Clinic in Suva is very famous, where people with low income go and get private medical services. Today, while Mr. J.P. Bailey is not amongst us, but there are people in the society, in the community, who are willing to still assist us to ensure that the work started by J.P. Bailey continues on and children continues to benefit. As alluded to by manager, Jerry Standen, who is, I believe, a trustee, patron of the school, assisted in providing the building materials and supervising the construction work. There are other stakeholders who have assisted in numerous ways to ensure that children's education are not affected. UNICEF, a gap. And of course, our own ministry continues to support children's education in Fiji. Ladies and gentlemen, we are very particular about ensuring that the children get best quality education. I was addressing little children of this age last night at Lautoka. About over 1,000 students gathered throughout Fiji for Scouts, Cubs, Jamboree. And I said to them that I wish I was a student at this time, because the level of support, the resources, the mentoring that the children are getting now, we never received in our time. And there's no reason why any children would shy away from coming to school, while any parent will keep their children away from school. Yesterday, some months back, we had announced that we want to utilize the time a child spends from ages 2 to 4 at home. 70% of brain development takes place in the early ages. And we're wasting the children's time. At home, they stay with the nannies, with grandparents. They watch all kinds of movies in the daytime, which has no relevance to the child's education. They watch cartoons which have no relevance to the child's education. We're totally wasting the time when the child is hungry for knowledge, and anything given to them is taken and absorbed. And we've announced that we will be developing resources that we will give it out free to ECEs and parents so that they can utilize when the child is at home from ages 2 to 4. As well as we'll be developing cartoons using local material, local content, so that children who love cartoons can watch them, but it'll be educational. Yesterday, around midday, we launched the first set of materials, which we will be distributing to all lower primary schools, lower classes, and all ECEs in Fiji. Hard copy materials or basic learning material with local quality. For example, if you want to teach alphabets to your children, we'll say D for Dalo, R for roti. Something that the children can relate to, or have seen, what the parents were talking about. This is how we want to now target our children and fully take advantage of the learning potential. So these materials, with the assistance of UNICEF, have been printed and is now will be distributed to all ECEs in Fiji and all primary schools and lower classes, and it will be available on our homepage soft copy for free download by parents. In addition to that, yesterday we have spoken to UNICEF to fund the development of cartoon, and we intend to launch this cartoon next year. We don't have any expertise in Fiji to develop cartoons. We have searched all over, spoken to the universities, USP and the new, there's no local expertise, we have to get that person from outside, and UNICEF has agreed to assist us in funding and getting the person down while we have the content to give it to the person. So exciting developments in the education sector. We want to remove all obstacles to our students accessing education. But we need parents to protect our children. Our children are very vulnerable. Those things that are happening in the society now never used to happen in our days. And therefore, our children need more protection. Nowadays, we used to walk 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 kilometers to get to school and come back. And parents never used to worry about our safety. Now, parents are worried about the children's safety. Those days, there was no one peddling drug. Now there are people trying to push a peddle drug outside the school gates. They are growing drugs. Our police department is doing their best to eradicate supply of drugs. But we also need to protect our children to curb demand if we want to provide a sustainable solution to finishing drug consumption in PG. And these drug peddlers won't come and sell drugs to us. They know. They won't get it past us. But they will come to our children because they know they're vulnerable. They know that they're more emotional. And at this stage, at this age, the ability to rationalize, make rational decisions is limited because the mind is still developing. And therefore, they tend to make decisions based on emotions. And these are the target for these corrupt elements of the society. Therefore, we need to protect them. Never before, the need for parental engagement was more than now. We need to be ahead of them. Ladies and gentlemen, we need parents to take ownership of their child's education, growth and development. You cannot continue to push child's education, growth and development to the school system only. We are working with our teachers to provide the maximum. But education starts at home. We must ensure that the children feels comfortable in confiding to you, talking to you. You must talk to your children, ask them what they have done in the daytime, whom they have met when they were working from community from home to school, school to home. What did the teacher teach today? Check their homework. Let the child feel wanted, let the child feel that you care and want to know about how the child is doing. Our children get abused because at times they feel they are not wanted. They're searching for love. If love is not given at home, then there will be someone out there who will offer false love to exploit our children. That's the time children end up making emotional decisions. Gentlemen, we need to take control, take ownership of our children's education, growth and development. We're here to provide all the kind of support that is necessary to raise our children, educate our children, as responsible citizens of future Fiji, who will have a prosperous, peaceful and stable future in future Fiji. But alone, we can't do it. We need your support. Today, it's a happy day for this community. Schools, temples are a sign of hope, symbol of growth of any community. When these institutions are demolished or destroyed, then the society becomes unstable. Schools, it's a symbol of knowledge in the society. This is the place where communities come and expand their body of knowledge. We cannot close schools. It's our responsibility to ensure schools function, schools operate. We will provide all the necessary support to ensure that our children get education in the most convenient way. We look forward to a continued support to the education system in schools, and we do hope that the community will also continue to support. No longer they have to raise funds. We are providing full expenses for the operating of the schools. And we look forward to looking after other needs of the children as they grow up. We want every child's dream to be realized. We want every parent's dream to be realized. We will ensure that there is no obstacle in realizing the dreams. With these words, I congratulate and declare the school open. I wanted to do it this way, this week, because I didn't want to come next week and disturb the school learning time. It's anyway a short week. So I thought we will do it this week, a short session, and so that you come with your bags and classes start on Tuesday morning. No more of, there's a holiday on Monday to mark the great achievement of Fijian rugby sevens team. I was listening to the interview by Oscar de la Hoya, who said that he has won so many of world championships belts, in boxing. But what he cherishes most is the Olympic medal. The interviewer asked him why. He said, in the world championship that he goes to fight, he fights for money. He fights for himself. But for Olympics, there's no money. He fights for the country, for the people of the country. This Olympics medal that Fiji won. Fiji is ranked #1 in the Olympic saber. Believe me, last week I saw the data. Fiji in the 2016 Olympics gold medal tally last week, Tuesday, up till Tuesday, but last week, middle of the night, Fiji was ranked #1. Medal, paid, million population. US is far below. Per million population. Take it. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great achievement for Fiji, a small country. This further demonstrates Fiji is a true leader amongst the small states region in Africa, in Caribbean, and Pacific as well. No other country have achieved what Fiji achieved, given its resource base and population. And I think our heroes who have done this for Fiji deserve a special commendation. That's why our Honorable Prime Minister, Honorable Bainimarama, has declared a holiday on Monday, and there will be a special celebration in Suva, followed by the Sunday celebration at Crystal Park. Thank you, Nata, and I wish the children a very bright future.